Scott, thanks for joining us. That's an unfortunate end to our Virtue Trophy campaign with a sort of last-minute goal there. What was your thoughts on the game overall?
Excuse me. Yeah, my thoughts of the game overall was I'm really, really pleased with the performance. I thought that we dominated large parts of the game. I felt that we pressed really well, stopped them from kind of getting any real control, made them kick it long on a number of occasions, and I thought we were good for our money. It was good to see some players out there we've not seen loads of. And yeah, I think the overriding feeling is disappointment, really. I wanted to win that game and go through to the next stages of the tournament or the cup, because we've got footballers here that need to play football, and that would have been an ideal opportunity for us to carry on playing. So really disappointed, and yeah, in the whole, I'm happy with the performance. I thought we were really good.
Yeah, and it was a real sort of gutsy and characterful performance from a lot of, as you say, players who haven't had a lot of minutes. So that almost makes the manner of the way we lost even more disappointing, doesn't it? Because they probably deserved at least a chance to go through on penalties tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I think probably the manner in which we lost is a learning curve. Definitely. I've just spoke to the players just now and said, look, we can always take some kind of learning from every single bad situation. And the bad situation today was, with 1 minute to go, it is a criminal offence to switch off when it's a throw into the opposition. We do. For whatever reason, we switch off with a minute to go. They throw it in the pitch. We don't really deal with the action, and then somebody runs off somebody and then scores. So it's a moment of it's a moment where we've got to be engaged and we're not. And we've got to learn from that. We've got to kind of learn from that moment where it just takes a second to score. When you're thinking it's 94, 95 minutes, whatever it was when they blew, it's never over. So you got to be engaged the whole time. Ball goes out of play. You got to have eyes popping out your head. You got to understand where everybody is, pull people in, make it really strong defensively, make it really robust. They can't get through us. We switch off in that moment and then concede. So that's the learning we've got to take from that. And it's a shame because we put so much effort into that game for one or two players to switch off for 10 seconds to absolutely kill the night, really, because we were confident, and I felt we could have gone and won it in penalties. If we had to win it that way, we'd go and win it that way, but not to be. And I'm really proud of the players because I thought we were good.
Yeah, and as you said, a lot of players that haven't been able to play a lot of minutes were able to get out there tonight. But at the same time, there's probably a few players out there that you would have rather have not had a game tonight, obviously with us building momentum in the league as well. So it comes both ways, doesn't it, with these games? Because as we've seen, the squad isn't big enough that we can completely obviously change the team.
No, but there's these crazy rules where we've got to play 4 players that have had 40 plus games. Well, we haven't got many that have got that in the whole squad. So then we find it really hard to pick a team always in this, or they've got to have played in the game before or the game after. So it makes it even harder. If the trophy is what the trophy is, which we take really seriously every year anyway, but the rules kind of spoil it a little bit in my opinion. I think that we end up kind of playing players that we need to kind of protect a little bit, and then you end up making subs too early in the game because of it. So disappointing with some of the rules, really. But we take the competition really seriously, though. Don't make no mistake about that. We want to progress through, but obviously that's why I'm disappointed now, because I wanted to continue, but and I felt we potentially deserved a lot more from the game than we got, but not to be.
Thanks. Inevitably, the way football fans are, they'll talk about Harvey Davis and the first goal. But what about the saves he made? And he fought back really well. He didn't let that affect him, did he?
Yeah, anyone who wants to talk about Harvey Davis on the first goal, don't talk about Harvey Davis, talk about Scott Lindsey, because it's me who coaches him to play that way. And we're not always going to make every pass spot on. I felt it was probably the wrong choice. There was a midfield player who dropped down at the right moment. Maybe that was the right choice, but I could understand what he was trying to do. It's never ever come for my players, always come for me on that. But yeah, he made some fantastic saves. I remember one, Dicko was saying that he made the save that hit the bar. I don't know, I ain't watched it back yet.
The free kick, I think it was.
But yeah, he made some great saves. And listen, he had a lot of the ball tonight, and then he had to make a lot of decisions. He got one wrong. You know, listen, it's his first game back as well for a while, so we have to give him plenty of space and room to kind of get back into it again. And I thought he was good tonight.
And what positives do you take from the tournament, even though you're disappointing going out? What positives do you take from all the games?
Well, seeing the likes of Fate and Jude on the pitch, two youngsters, you know, Jude's only just turned 17, and I thought he did well when he come on, you know, and I think it's nice to give them a little bit of experience playing in a game like that in front of a crowd under the floodlights. I think it's really good. Obviously, Leyton Orient away, you know, and I'm just disappointed that we've not progressed. But like I say, I'm disappointed in the manner that we concede that last goal, because there was no need to switch off in that moment. We've done so much effort, so much work for 94 minutes, and then we switch off for 10 seconds. Bang, goal, all over. You know, and we got to learn from that.
Yeah, and you said about you've got to get these players minutes. How do you do that now? Because some of these players obviously haven't had a look in the league at the moment. Is it up to them now to push and push and push?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's clear to me that there's some players who played out there tonight who are now putting themselves in a position to knock on my door. I thought there was some good players tonight. I thought they played really well. You know, certainly some of them, if not all. It was good. It was good to see Bajrami play in the defence as well. I thought he did excellent when he went back there. So that kind of gives me another something to think about. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of keep pushing for a place, and then if it gets to January and they're kind of not around it, then maybe it might be time to go out and get a loan. But you know, that's probably too early to say that at this stage.
Yeah, excellent. And we saw Josh Flint captain in the first half, obviously Charlie in second. We've had Dion as captain, and that it's good to have that many leaders in the side, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think you look at Charlie Barker and certainly Flinty. They're young still, you know, but they are leaders. You know, they lead by example. They're both real winners. You know, so yeah. I mean, obviously Dion's a more of an experienced player. You know, where these two lads are youngsters, and you know they want to win and they lead by example. So yeah, it's great to have people who can have their armband and it suits them.
Yeah, and obviously Gillingham on Saturday. How excited are you about that one in front of the Sky cameras?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it. If the truth be known, we're obviously concentrating on this game tonight. I'll get to work tonight and do a full day tomorrow on Gillingham and start preparing for that. But yeah, obviously looking forward to it.
Brilliant, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Kabby, Crawley suffered late heartbreak here today. How's the dressing room after that?
Yeah, I think everyone was obviously gutted. We thought that, you know, we looked like the better team throughout the 90 minutes. Created some decent chances. Obviously, like myself, like the one that I had in the first half in terms of the header, could have done better. But I thought overall, as a team, I think collectively it was a very, very good performance. Playing against League One opposition, I think everyone gave a good account of themselves. You know, it was an opportunity for not just myself, but the other boys to sort of, you know, put a bit of pressure on the manager in terms of getting more minutes out there. And I think we all done that quite well today.
Yeah, and we saw the likes of Jude come on and Fate. How do you think they perform? I mean, they're only young lads, aren't they? And they held their own, didn't they?
No, very, very well. Obviously, I see it in training quite a lot. Obviously, they've still got a lot of learning to do in terms of their development, but you can see out there that, you know, they look very comfortable on the ball. They're not shy to get into tackles and things like that. But I think when you're that age, it's just about learning. You might not play as many games, but, you know, games like this are a good opportunity for them to just, you know, pose themselves, you know, at men's level and show what they can do. And obviously we see it as players throughout the week in training. I think they definitely showed it out there today.
Yeah, and your effort that was ruled offside, were you offside, do you think?
I didn't think I was offside.
No, I didn't.
I did not think I was offside. I thought when he took the shot, I dropped in, you know, just gambling on like the rebound in case if the keeper parries it, but it came around my path, touched it. Then yeah, but the ref ruled it out for offside. Even the one in the first half, to be fair, with the penalty. I thought that was clear and obvious, but clearly the liner saw something else. So it's quite gutted in the end, but that's football. You know what you're going to get with these officials.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there was given a penalty and possibly the penalty shootout would have come, would you have stood up to take it? Yeah,
definitely. I've always backed myself. Obviously, you can see my record through my old club, at Swindon. I had a very, very good record there, and I would have 100% backed myself.
Yeah. With the offside and that, do you feel it isn't quite running for you at the moment this season? Because you've had a couple of goals, but you haven't really had that run of good luck in front of goal, have you?
Yeah. I think that's obviously been quite difficult in terms of. I thought I've actually had another goal that I've had ruled out in the league. I think at home. I think that I scored. So it's been a bit weird, but you know what you're going to get with these officials. So it's one of those ones as players that you just got to get on with it. I've still got to apply myself, even though that I'm not getting the luck of the draw in terms of in front of goal. I've still got to work hard. I've still got to show myself and be there for the boys. And things will turn. Obviously, you know that it can't stay like that forever. Eventually it's going to click, and I back myself 100% to do well at this club.
Yeah, and obviously the win on Saturday, this performance tonight, this squad is really gelling now. The team's really gelling. How far can the team go this season, do you think?
Very, very far. I think, obviously, the start of the season hasn't quite shown that. I thought we've dominated a lot of games. We've played quite well. We just haven't had the luck of results in terms of obviously decisions and things like that hasn't sort of gone our way. And I think we've done quite well recently. I think it's about picking it up and continuing. But the squad's very, very good. As you saw out there, the squad's very, very strong. Everyone's competing for competition, and I think we've still got a long way to go. But there's definitely a lot of strong boys out there who's shown a good candidate for the gaffer.
Yeah, and obviously up top as well, we've got Harry McCurdy, who's been out injured. I don't know if he's going to be fit for Saturday. Louis Flowers obviously scored in the last couple of games. Competitor and Ron Lofty as well. Yeah. You've got a lot of competition up there, haven't you? Is it good to have that competition?
Yeah. It spurs me on as a player, to be fair, to sort of be always at it in terms of training, in terms of games. That, not that you're looking over your shoulder, but that you've got to take you as much of an opportunity as you can. So I think it's healthy, it's good for us, and it keeps all of us sticking over, making sure that, we're really pushing each other to be the best that we can every day, whether that's training, whether that's game. And I think, it's going to show out there. It hasn't as much in terms of the numbers. I think it's been quite frustrating in terms of the numbers for me, and I think a few of the other boys up front might say the same, but I think it's a healthy competition, and I think it's one that's going to push all of us on from now until the end of the season.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kabby.
Cheers. Thank you.